Well, hi, all my friends. Um, I figured I would just weigh in a little bit now that things have somewhat settled on the Las Vegas incident, murder, and just kind of give you my 2 cents worth opinion so far, what I've learned. Um, and And I'm going off news feeds that have nothing to do with the alphabet soup news programs, um, and um, and also people that are on the ground there. Okay, in the first few minutes of the shooting that went on, there was a volley of fire coming from 2 different locations. Okay, so already that tells you there's 2 different people. Believe that the original shooter that they've put out in front of the camera is yet another patsy. Even though he might have been a little bit having some personal problems, I don't know. But they used him, okay, to further their own agenda. Now, 45 minutes before the show started, there were a couple of South American descent people who were warning the people and being very belligerent and obnoxious, enough so that they got thrown out, telling people they're all going to die. Okay, so why would they be doing that? When it comes to Satanism and that kind of ritual, especially since we know that Hillary is of that ilk, and so is a lot of other people who, of the Democratic Party, unfortunately, who do not worship the Lord, even though they say they do. They really don't. And that's a whole nother, video. But you can see enough of it to know what I'm saying is true. It's one reason why neither here nor there, but anyway, there's a lot of things that she has done in her organization and bills and so forth that just is not, in my book, is not good. So they have to warn you somehow, either in a movie, a cartoon, something that, because that's the rules of on their side, on the hellish state side, that they have to warn you what's coming down the pike. So they hired these kids or whatever to go into the audience and warn people 45 minutes ahead of time. And of course nobody's taking them seriously and thinking they're just a bunch of Trump haters, okay? Because most of the people that went to this concert apparently were Trump supporters, people are saying, okay? Well, I don't think that's the whole, agenda. There's always, something being spun off, okay? So anyway, on the 4th floor, you'll see fire going off. On the 29th floor, you'll see fire being shot off. And there's a cab driver who is near the hotel. And you can definitely tell that from the volley of shots that one is closer than the other. And that there were at least well over 200 rounds shot between each volley. Altogether, there should have been about over 2,000 rounds. But when the police had shown the floor of the so-called rooms that the shooter was in on the 32nd floor, they hardly show any spent rounds at all. It's not possible because you can hear it. The gunfire going off is on full automatic, okay? Whether they were using a bump accessory or they actually were using a drum-fed, fully automatic AR, let's say, for example, regardless, the amount of rounds that went off doesn't equal to the picture that they're showing you, okay? And so that's a conspiracy right there, because we're talking about two people here, not just one. It's very similar to San Bernardino as well. There's, you know, an American, he's married to some foreigner. So same thing in Vegas. The American, he's seeing a foreigner. Something doesn't add up. It's a red flag to me, okay? And most likely a red flag event. And unfortunately, they don't care that they're killing Americans. They haven't since JFK. And they are getting desperate because from the hurricane incidents that we've been experiencing, the news has been showing that Americans are being very helpful regardless of skin color or nationality or religion or whatever. We are all being very helpful, and it even shows all the heroes and the heroic acts that happened during this incident in Las Vegas, of the people being helpful and supportive and doing everything they can to help each other. That doesn't bode well for their side. Okay, so you also, Tony from God Rules has shown, and I put a link to my last video, and you can hear what the gunfire, and you can see this cab, and you know, and this is at the very beginnings of this incident that happened. And Tony has made 2 or 3 at least videos that you can take a look at. Also, the Still Report has come out with different reports on what happened, and I watch him. He's very credible, and so I have others, but I don't have any links to them right now to share with you. So what's the purpose of all of this? Again, it's to control you. I also think it's a part of Agenda 21 to get people into mega cities so that they can't leave, so that they can control you and so forth, and then, you know, take you out if they want to, kind of a thing, like they did. 500 people, okay? So 58 killed, and you know, I don't know if there's more. I haven't really been vigilant by watching what's going on. Maybe I'll catch some more today. But anyway, that's just what I've heard so far. I've got a friend that lives there that was went to a concert. They were supporting, you know, the people who have been injured and are still fighting for their lives in the hospitals, and trying to get money raised for them, as well as giving blood and being as supportive as they possibly can be. So I would rather be doing something proactive and helping people rather than focusing in on a them versus us kind of mentality. That's why I haven't weighed in on anything, because I wanted to wait to see until the dust settled and get some more information so that it sounds a little bit more coherent to you. So there's receipts of another person in the room. There were volleys of shots fired that equal much more than what was visually shown. There were actual video of shots fired from different floors, okay, 4th floor and 32nd floor, and also maybe the 29th floor. There also, the other thing is, well, some people say, well, the windows weren't shot out only from the 32nd floor. However, these particular windows, according to the Still report, are very easy to remove if you know how to do it. The guy that cleans the windows there called in and said they're very simple to remove and put back into place. So he probably just removed it and knew how to do it and did it that way. So there wasn't anything broken, okay? So they took out a few windows and were able to do what they needed to do. That's all I know for now, and I just wanted to share that with you. We definitely, all of us, have got to be praying, asking the Lord and the angels and God for help to change this world around, to get it to where we are not a them versus us anymore, that we are one people, maybe with different cultures, but we are all brothers and sisters under God. And until we can come to that realization, things are not going to change the way the Lord wants them to change. And He may do something that is necessary to follow His plan, because He's not going to wait much longer. According to Howard Storm, who did die, went to heaven, spoke to the Lord, and came back, that was in when he was in his 30s. He's now in his late 60s, so over 30 years ago, okay? So that would put it in the 80s? The Lord and the angels told him 150 years, okay? So we have, we have 100 years to change. That's pretty fast, to have a different type of future that has been predicted by the Lord, if it is our will. And if our will is to have peace in the world and to have a bit of heaven here on earth, then we, all of us collectively, need to be praying this prayer: Thy will be done in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven. Our Father prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So, I wish you all well. Please watch out for each other. Be in prayer daily. And ask the Lord for this to come to pass, for all of our sakes. God bless you. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.